Behold how good it is, and how pleasant when brethren dwell in unity.
This week, our Torah portion covers Exodus 27:20 to 30:10. The section is called Tetzaveh, which means you command, the first distinctive phrase in the text. It introduces one of the most fundamental institutions in the Jewish religion, the priesthood. Originally, the firstborn of every Israelite family was dedicated to the priesthood. The priestly commission across all tribes began on the fateful night in Egypt when the firstborns of all of Israel were saved from the angel of death. That did not last long, however. After the incident of the golden calf at Sinai, God reduced the priestly office to a single tribe, the Levites. Levites were singled out for this honor because they were the first to respond when Moses, hot with anger upon discovering their unrestrained idolatry, called, "Whoever is on the Lord's side, come to me." Among the Levites, the male descendants of Aaron were sanctified as the priest or Kohanim. The rest of the Levites served as aides to the priest. In the entirety of Exodus, Tetzaveh is the only portion that completely omits Moses. In these 3 chapters, it is Aaron's turn to take center stage. Aaron is Israel's first high priest, or Kohen Gadol. According to God's design, his descendants will forever fill the ranks of the priesthood. Kohen in Hebrew translates as both prince and servant. Indeed, as princes in a kingdom of priests, the Kohanim were primarily servants of the people, interceding before God on their behalf. They were not aristocrats. When the land of Canaan was divided among the tribes, the Levites did not inherit a portion. According to Deuteronomy and Joshua, the Lord was their inheritance. What Levites lacked in land, they made up for in honor and privilege. Only the Levites could carry the Ark of the Covenant, God's earthly manifestation of his glory. Only the Levites tended to the tabernacle's eternal fire. Only they wore special garments and carried out sacrifices, as this week's text bears out at length. Levites also filled the ranks of teachers, scribes, judges, and musicians. Unlike the prophets who were spontaneously selected by God, the priesthood was dynastic. Moses' successor was not one of his sons, Gershon or Eleazar, but Joshua. Aaron, on the other hand, passes the torch to his 4 sons, even though 2 proved to be unworthy. The office of priest continued from generation to generation, from the time of the tabernacle and on down until the destruction of the Second Temple. Even today, many Jews have surnames highlighting their Levitical heritage. Levi, Levine, Halevi, or Cohen. Over the centuries of Jewish history, the office of Aaron will go through periods of blessing and stints of corruption. When necessary, God raises up prophets like Malachi to accuse and convict wayward priests. However, while prophets represent God's intervention in history, the priest symbolized continuity in Judaism. Prophets may course correct for the covenanted people, but priests make certain the path itself is never lost or forgotten. Before I wrap this up, I want to end with one particular example from the Gospel of Luke, which I believe highlights in a uniquely Christian way the continuity of the priesthood. Luke begins in his first chapter, "In the days of King Herod, king of Judea, there was a priest." As we know, that priest was Zechariah. Zechariah was not only a Levite, but also a Cohen. Luke notes that Zechariah had a wife of the daughters of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth. The couple was old and childless, but God blessed them with a son, John the Baptist. Now, the name Elizabeth is Greek. In Hebrew, the name of John's mother was actually Elisheva. As we know from Exodus 6:23, Elisheva was also the name of the wife of Aaron. So here we have a sweet connection that even the name Elisheva has been preserved by Levites from the age of Aaron to John. Elisheva, Aaron's wife, was the ancestress of the priestly class. And Elisheva, Zachariah's wife, was the mother of John, the forerunner to the Christian Messiah, the one tasked to make ready a people prepared for the Lord. I like that. Shabbat Shalom.
Behold how good it is, and how pleasant when brethren dwell